We're going live.
Alright, sweet.
Alright, let me start the stream bot. Cool.
Okay. 16, 17, 18. Yellow. Blue. Alright.
We are live.
How many people we got?
We got 12 viewers. Hold on a second. Yeah, this computer cannot deal with the.
Do you need my computer?
No, this will work for now. Okay. Yeah, this camera is really blurry for some reason.
Did you try wiping it off?
Yeah, try that. Handy dandy rag right here. All right. Move this mic in here. Or not.
Just clamped in here. Get this out of here.
And I think I'm going to switch to this camera.
What gauge wire is this? 20 gauge.
All right, so now we're good to go. Let me just switch to camera 2. Sweet.
Plug this guy in.
guys hear us. It's the most important thing. Are we going to finish today? No, I don't think so. This is a long project, but we will get the motor running today.
Hopefully. I've not been working on this quite as much as I wanted to because I've been very busy at work. But let's see how far we get today. Got a new crimping tool I'm going to try. Never used one of these before. Have you, Aaron?
Nope, I have not.
Well, try it out. Let's see here. Oh. I think this is pretty straightforward.
I also feel like these windows are blocking the frame. I'm gonna move some stuff around. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
How does this work?
Alright, let me pull up the stream on my other computer so I can see what you guys are saying. Do you need me to do anything, Davis?
No, I think I'm good.
Alright.
Oh, that didn't work. Okay. I just missed. So I'm trying to crimp these terminals onto these wires here. There's a bunch of wires that go into our motor controller for Hall effect sensors, for the throttle, etc. So I'm just trying to wire this up.
By the way, guys, check it out. My hand is better.
Cast is off.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, he cut his finger off. Working on
And then
some
they
wood
sewed it
earlier.
back on. Look. No, just kidding. I
It's a
cut a tendon.
miracle.
Cut a tendon in my finger.
With a Japanese saw. How the hell are you supposed to get this wire to stay while you crimp it? Oh, maybe that's how.
He says if it doesn't work, flip it around. Steven.
Alright, Steven. Oh. I think it worked.
Alright, I also have the comments on my phone so I can follow along. Hold on a second.
Might have overshot there. Alright, I think that works.
Meme generator. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, did you get that working?
I got it working.
Meme generator?
Think so.
Should tell
Yeah,
me
I
how it
know.
works.
I'm fixing some stuff here. Okay, so I think this. Hold on, let me just double check that this is working correctly. Okay, it should be. So if you guys here, let me just do the command. I don't know if I can use this computer though. Okay. So yeah, so I made this program that is a StreamBot, and it listens to commands that you guys type in the chat. And one of those commands actually shows a meme that you can generate in the chat on the video that's streaming live. So let me just test this out. I think it works. It worked last time we streamed, but I haven't tested it out since then. So it might not work, but let's give it a try. Miguel, you have to add some text and a meme type. The commands are in the description of the stream. Okay, let's give this one a try. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Oh wait, that's not okay. Hold on a second. Have to edit the description. I put the wrong command in there. It's actually this. It's.
Damn it, Aaron.
It's the one I just posted, but instead of exclamation mark meme, it's exclamation mark SM for show meme. But yeah, the exclamation mark meme one will actually paste a link in the chat, so you can view that if you want, but it's a lot better if you actually see the meme on the video. So if we do anything in the video that you guys want to meme, go for it. Post it on the video. All right, let's go back. A422 asks, any temp sensors? How hot can the wires get?
There are temp sensors, but only on the motor side. I'm not sure how hot they get, but I imagine they will get pretty hot. However, I have hooked up some pretty beefy, thick, like 0-gauge wire as the primary cables that go to the primary motor windings. But when I look at the motor itself, it looks like the cables on the motor are thinner than what I got, so I might have gone overboard with how thick I made those cables. But I think I will be able to tell once I actually make the motor and get it running at full power and have the temp sensor monitor hooked up.
Also looks like the meme is not displaying, so I will troubleshoot that.
This connector I'm making right here is for the Hall effect sensors. So there's 3 Hall effect sensors on the motors, and basically Hall effect sensors detect a change in the magnetic field. So when the motor is turning, the magnetic field is changing, it's rotating around the motor, and based off of the Hall effect sensors detecting where the magnetic field is of the motor, we can use that. The motor controller uses that information to determine the rotational position of the motor. And the reason it needs that is because it has to alternate providing current to the 3 primary coils of the motor to get it to spin, so it just alternates back and forth. But in order to know which motor windings to fire, it needs to know the position of the motor. So the connector I'm making right now, or the wire that I'm making right now, is to connect the Hall effect sensors that are built in the motor and connect those to the motor controller. Alright, so we got blue wire for one Hall effect sensor, yellow wire for another Hall effect sensor. Now the green.
Keep pasting the wrong command here. It works.
It does?
It works.
Nice.
Just takes a little bit.
Yeah, these types of crimp connectors are pretty common amongst automotive wiring. So I guess it makes sense for us because we're making an automobile.
Steven asks, can we see what the control mod looks like?
The controller module?
It's this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming these are all like for heat, right?
Yeah.
For getting rid of the heat.
Yeah, because it gets pretty hot because you're sending basically all of the current from the battery through that controller, and the controller then distributes the electricity appropriately based on the position of the motor, how fast you want to go, etc.
Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, so I also need to make the connector that goes here.
Okay.
So, basically, we can start with making a connector with just matching colors.
Okay.
With the matching connector, so I have like wires here with a few different colors. We definitely don't have all of the colors, but
Okay.
you know, enough to get us started. Yeah, so like this makes up, wait no, this makes up like this.
Okay.
So just put the corresponding wires in.
So do I have to use those things? Or?
Yeah, so you gotta use these terminals. Yeah, actually I could definitely use help with this because this is kind of tedious. But basically, like strip the wire.
Why don't we just do it like assembly line style?
Okay.
I strip the wire and then you
Okay, yeah.
hook it up.
So I need to strip the wire this much. So like this here crimps on the insulator,
Got it.
where on my finger, but this.
You want to show the camera?
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll use a screwdriver. So on this terminal, these little tabs, metallic tabs, fold down and crimp on the green plastic insulator. But these tabs up here, they're supposed to crimp on the wire. So we need to strip the wire so that the wires are exposed so that these two metal tabs can then crimp on top of it.
Okay, so only that amount, not the whole length.
Yeah, so basically from like here to here needs to be.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, sweet. So basically, for this one, we're gonna need one of each color, at least.
Okay, I can just. How long do you want the wires?
About 10 inches. So like about this long. You can use this as reference.
Okay. Can I borrow this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna need these too.
Okay. I will put the secondary camera. Oh. Lots of wires around here. The secondary camera.
Alright, assembly line.
Watch.
This reminds me of the factories in China. How was that? Damn, look at that setup. Look how gnarly that looks.
And do you already have white?
What's that?
Should I just do one of everyone?
Yeah, because this connector needs one of every one. Plus some. Looks like we're missing brown. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Green, yellow, red, black. Oh, 2 yellows.
Okay.
Oh, can you do black next?
Sure.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this crimp tool, maybe not. Well, it's like curved. It's like a McDonald's arch. It's like an M shape. But that basically folds the crimp down over itself, folds it up over the wires. I guess while he's making a couple of these wires, I'll explain a little bit what's going on here with this motor controller. So I'm controlling a brushless motor, and a brushless motor, I don't know, easy way to explain this, but a regular motor, like a regular cheap motor that you would find, is called a brushed motor, and the motor basically needs to take an alternating current, like positive to negative, positive to negative. And a brushed motor accomplishes this using literally like conductive brushes that spin past a couple contactors. And every time it rotates, it switches the direction, because in one direction, the brushes will be contacting, the positive brush will be contacting one side of the connector and the negative brush the other. But then once it rotates, now the current has alternated because now it's flipped. Now the positive brush is connecting the other side of the motor. So it's like a physical like connector using brushes to conduct the current. But that generates a lot of friction, it generates noise, and the motor wears down, it's not as efficient. So a brushless motor, these are more expensive. Rather than using a physical connection, it uses software to time when to alternate the current. And for this brushless motor, there's actually three what they call phases, basically three coil windings that all three of them alternate at the appropriate time to get the motor to spin. And that's what the Hall effect sensors were for that I mentioned earlier. But so that's why there are three big fat wires connected to the motor. These are the primary lanes of electricity that goes from the motor controller to the motor. So these are the three phases. And then to know what position of the motor is in, it uses the Hall effect sensors. There's three of them positioned at 120 degrees apart. And so this has to be connected to the motor as well. So the motor controller knows what to do. So these are the three terminals that go to the motor. And then we also need to provide this motor controller with power. So that's why you see a fourth and a fifth black and red wire, because this is what we're going to use to hook up the batteries to the motor controller. This is a bus bar here. So there's going to be a bunch of batteries hooked up together in series and parallel. And there's going to be three of them in parallel, three stacks of batteries hooked up in parallel to these three terminals on the negative side, which then obviously routes to the negative terminal of the motor controller. And then on the positive end, we have the same thing, red wire, big red wire, with a bus bar where the three parallel positive leads of our battery pack will be connected to.
Which double wire did you want?
Oh, yellow?
Yellow.
Yeah. Do you already have the black?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay, yeah, I can start.
I need one of them for the size.
Sweet, thanks. All right.
Are we engineers? If yes, what type of engineer?
You can answer that one.
I am a pretend engineer. I'm a software engineer.
That's a true engineer.
That is a pretend engineer. Don't let anybody tell you different. And Davis is a mechanical engineer. We're nerds.
Nerds.
But it does make you a lot of money, so I will live with being a nerd. For that.
It is true.
Here's the yellow one. Do you need any more of these actually?
I think I will eventually. Hold on, let me look after I print this wire. Okay. Black wire. Black wire goes here. Sweet. Okay, so for the Hall effect sensors, I still need a green.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Oops, am I not supposed to swear? I did the wrong location. Another screwdriver. Do you wanna?
Do you want another green one? Sorry.
Yeah. Do you wanna check what's like missing from this one?
Sure.
I know there's some colors we don't have, but maybe we could replace it with like a closer color or something.
There's like an orangish red. Do that. Another green one.
Oh, damn. How do I get this out? Oh, sweet. Got it out. Okay. So the yellow was supposed to go on the side, not the middle.
We are working on a. Do you know what a power wheel is? It's one of those kids' toys with the motors in them. They look like this. We're taking a huge, giant brushless motors that you find in an electric car, and we're going to put it in there, and it's going to go like 60 miles an hour.
Or something like that. Maybe 40. That's the minimum goal. I think 40 miles an hour is dangerous enough. Okay. Can I steal the screen one?
Yeah. Got all these finished off.
Alright, sweet.
I can start crimping too.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
So, like, take one of these terminals, and I just discovered that it's easier to like just start the crimp, so that this thing is holding the.
Okay, like that.
Out. Yeah. So I think like
Okay.
that middle tap's supposed to cover the
Right
right.
there.
Yeah. So I realized though it's better to just like let the wire out, like take it out, and just like barely start it. I think it goes this way. Whoops, hold on. Like the back side is larger, so I put the back end here,
Okay.
and I just like barely start it. That way this is holding it,
Okay.
and then I can stick the wire in. And then check it out because it's funny how it like folds it over.
Oh, yeah, but it like.
Yeah,
Does that look like it's flipped up right there?
I think that's normal. I've seen in videos that's how they do it, but
Okay.
yeah. So that's that. All right. Let's see, red wire.
Too fast for kids. No, there's some neighborhood kids around here. We're gonna get them to ride in it. Hopefully their parents won't sue us or anything.
Well, so this motor controller allows you to do different modes. So you can set, using a toggle switch, a fast mode and a slow mode.
Oh.
And the switch that I'm planning to use for that is just like jet fighter switch.
Nice.
So if I ever have someone ride the car that like is timid or maybe younger or just like don't want to go really fast, this switch will be flipped down. But if you're ready to handle it, you flip the red part up and that reveals the toggle switch underneath, and then you can flip that up to go to full power. Okay, orange in the middle. This is an automotive connector, so it comes with these little rubber plugs that's supposed to help your connector resist water. Not sure how well they work, but not sure if I even need them, but throwing them on anyway. Oh, Aaron. So this is just like for like testing, and I need to get it to the breadboard.
Okay.
So do you think like we should solder like those wires with the headers?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Or I can strip them for you if you need it.
Yeah. Actually, you might as well just go ahead and like. Actually, let me just put on the last wires of this, and then we can. Maybe you can put those headers on, and then I can start with the next connector.
Okay. Do you need me to cut any more of these while I'm waiting? The wires?
Oh yeah, we need like 9 of those.
Okay, same
Oh
colors.
wait, sorry. You already cut them. Yeah, you already cut these.
Oh, I still have to do crimp some of them though. Here, just give me these.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Once I get this connector out, get those headers out. Okay. Purple.
Where's Raspberry Pi?
Raspberry Pi.
Do we have a Raspberry Pi for this one? We can make some cool displays or something.
Well, yeah.
That might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely need some sort of Raspberry Pi or Arduino.
Yeah, that's phase 2 though. Phase 1 is just getting the power system hooked up.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you could do all kinds of things like, route headlights to it or have a display for temperature and speed, all that fun stuff. I looked into making this road legal, and you have to have like a bunch of stuff like seat belts, windshield, which, I mean...
It's got a windshield.
It's...
You can just twist it. There you go.
Technically a windshield. I don't know if you can call that a windshield. Like, what is the definition of a windshield?
Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe driving that on the street.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I want to like drive it everywhere on the street, but I don't want to get like pulled over.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I'll probably get pulled over anyway, but at least I could have papers be like, no, this is a street legal car. Could you do the white one next?
Yep.
Sweet.
You guys should make some memes. I built that thing for nothing. Nobody wants to use it.
Is it? Do they know how to use it though? Like
I did some examples.
What texts?
So yeah, I can kind of quickly go over that. So everything's separated by a pipe, which is that vertical bar. So if you look above, I had exclamation mark SM pipe success kid pipe engineers pipe for the win. So like I said, that will display on the video when you create the meme. But the first one's the command. The second thing is success kid. That's the meme. And then third is engineers. That's the top text. Fourth is bottom text for the win. So you just have to look. There's a link in the description that shows all the different memes that you can post. You have to look for a meme. Once you find them, just post the top text and the bottom text in that command, and it will display on the video.
Alright, here's a bunch of header wires.
It's hard to do with my left hand.
Because of your finger?
Yeah.
Looking good so far.
Oh, this one's kind of weird. I think I should redo that one.
This one's just a test harness, so
Okay.
it's probably fine. Oh wait, I don't know if it'll go in though. Oh yeah, it'll go in. I think. Yeah. Sweet.
What's the reason for using Raspberry Pi?
Versus something else, or so the only control we have over anything right now is this motor controller. So if we want to get fancy with any displays, or if we want to show any information to the driver on the dashboard, such as the speed you're going, maybe even like motor temperature, because we don't want to get it too hot, or if there are any faults or anything like that, the Raspberry Pi can help us relay all that information. And also, like, we could also add controls for headlights and turn signals even, if we want to get that fancy. All right, all yours.
All right. Let me crimp this one first.
All right. Yeah, I like this soldering iron.
It's pretty
It
good.
looks like a toy, but it works pretty well.
then did you? Okay, these guys.
Yeah.
Can you post links there? I think so. Give it a try and see what happens.
Okay. Now I need. Oh. Whoops.
Hmm?
These ones. Okay, it's not too bad. These
I can
ones.
just create
These.
some more.
Yeah, these ones need the female pins, not the male pins.
Okay, I can.
But it's we only wasted 2 hours. Oh wait, 4. Actually, no, that's okay because I want to redo these because I started these with these like shitty copper wires.
Okay.
And they're all the same color. Alright, thanks.
Do you want me to heat shrink these guys?
Oh yeah, I got the heat shrink. I don't think this adapter is actually needed.
What vehicle was the motor and controller from? I think you just bought it online from a supplier, right?
Yeah. But the more powerful version of this was used in like the Zero electric motorcycle. But this one is, I think, quite a bit less powerful. I wanted to get that really powerful one, but the problem was, in order to get the full potential out of that motor, I would have to buy a lot of batteries, especially the type of batteries that are available at a low price point from hobby type websites. I can only get enough to power this lower powered motor, because otherwise, in order to fit the number of batteries, in order to fit the battery capacity that I wanted into the vehicle, I would have to use a much more higher density, expensive battery that probably actual companies would use to make their products. But instead, I'm using cheap hobby batteries, so I had to go step down to this one, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Blue.
It's not plugged in.
Oh. Can I see that box of wires? Yes. Do we get any memes yet?
I just posted one. I'll show you it when it pops up. It's a little laggy.
Just takes a minute.
Yeah.
It's not illegal if you don't drive on the street.
There you go. Do you have solder, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Here's this. Do you want like a mask or anything?
Nah, it's fine.
Can also start a fan. Gets a little bit of air blowing.
Where's the helping hand? You have that over there?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of solder.
Yep.
Are we using the existing controls for the kids' car? No, we're going to rebuild the entire chassis. Do you have? Where's the heat shrink, by the way? Did you get that?
Yeah, I've got a bunch right there.
Okay.
Black and white.
By the way, any donations that are made through the chat are greatly appreciated. We thank you so much that we will actually post your name in the credits of the video once we release it about this. And we're hoping that this gets a lot of views too. Because it will be pretty badass when we're finished.
Yeah. Hopefully we can start to spend more time working on it too.
This take a while to heat up.
It depends on, you gotta adjust the temperature. Also you might, these electronics might be a little sensitive, right? You turn it this way to heat it up. Oh, shit.
I got it.
that's maxed out.
Oh, I think it
Is it
doesn't like being back there. Oh,
Wait, can you plug it directly into here?
yeah, I can.
This is the shot.
Thank you, Mark.
Wait, did we get a donation?
We did for $2.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Oh, Canadian dollars. I think
Ooh,
that's
worth like 10 USD, right?
I don't know what that is. I will write your name down so I don't forget.
Our boy Mark is hooking us up.
Alright. Okay. I think the heat shrink section is too big for the.
Mark, you're my hero. Just want you to know that.
He says he wishes it was USD. Okay, where did I put? Chat, where did I put the wire strippers?
Oh,
Do you see
I still.
Oh, okay. It's actually
kind of
what I was gonna say when I was doing some of the coding live streams. I was having issues with the code, and I was asking chat to help me debug, and we actually figured out how to debug it together. It was pretty fun.
Wow. Wait, how did they have the code up? Like,
Yeah,
did they pull the code
I had
up?
like the IDE up, and I was.
Wait, they
working
looked
on the code.
from your screen? Like they didn't pull up like from the repository?
No, yeah, they saw it on the screen.
Wow.
If you sub to the Twitch channel, does it count as a donation? Yes.
Of course it does.
I will list all the Twitch subs on the video. Okay. This thing, is this on auto shut off? Oh wait, no, this thing just turned off.
Wait, I thought you plugged into here.
No, I plugged that.
Oh,
into there.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for this thing, it says if you use it on like the hot mode, that you should put it on a cool setting for 15 seconds, or like medium setting for 15 seconds before shutting it off completely.
Oh, okay.
Because the temperature change, like the constant like temperature cycling, is not good for it.
Okay, I will not make that mistake next time.
It's probably all good. White wire.
I actually have a lot of fun doing these live streams. It's cool to get the feedback from the subscribers.
Yeah.
You guys can also tell us when we're doing something wrong and laugh at us when we make mistakes.
We like to pretend like we know what we're doing, but we've never done this before, so. We know enough to be dangerous, but everything else is just trial and error. Wait, did I strip this?
This
Steal
thing's
these
actually
wire
really
strippers
useful.
back. With
This-
the helping hand?
Yeah, we should have used this so many times when we were building some of our other projects. Got it.
And just having a nice soldering iron is also really
That's key. Our last one. Oh, you want to pull the other one out?
Where is it?
Never buy this soldering iron. This is the absolute worst soldering iron.
The marketing for this is terrible too, because nowhere, if you look this up on Amazon, this is the Weller MPS 18MP. But anyway, if you look this up on Amazon, it'll say like 60 watt performance, but nowhere on the page does it say how many watts is it actually. It'll say 60 watt performance, equivalent to 60 watt iron. But like how many watts does it actually output? It's only 18.
Yeah, it sucks. We bought, well, this one's,
does the job.
This one's more expensive, but we bought one, or I bought one on Amazon for like $24 or something. Yeah. And it was way better than that one. That one costs
really?
like, yeah, at least 40. I think it's like way more than actually, like maybe $60 or something.
Wow. Brown and orange wire.
This actually takes way longer.
I like this.
Oh, can I take those
strippers
back?
Yeah.
I should actually do this production line style. What are you gonna say?
I like this box of multicolored wire that you can just pull.
Oh yeah, that's way easier.
Yeah. I'm gonna need those strippers after you.
It's surprising, like how much efficiency matters when you're building a project. Like all the little things. I'm not done yet. All the little things add up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it could potentially take way longer to complete a project if you're not efficient about how you go about doing it.
Yeah, and a big part of that efficiency is having the proper tools.
Right.
So I remember, like, I used to work on my car a lot, and like just, you know, whatever I could do to get by to save a buck. But that also meant I usually didn't have the proper tools, and I always had to like find some like non-proper way to get it done. It would always take a lot longer, and it would not do the job quite as well. And so with this project, I've been trying to buy all the proper materials, all the proper tools. Like this crimper thing, like I could crimp it with some pliers, but like the end result is pretty crappy, and it takes a lot longer.
You also have the tools for future projects.
Exactly. Actually, I don't think I need this at the moment. I'll just put this right here. Maybe some chill music.
Wait, no.
Just softly.
Make sure it's not copyrighted.
This is the...
YouTube will flag us.
I think this is good.
Turn the microphone away from it. Dang YouTube and their music copyright rules. for everyone.
These are just like instrumentals.
Yeah, it's still like extremely hard to find music that's not copyrighted.
Yeah. Do you want any coffee or anything?
I'm good. Thanks, though.
Alright, I'm gonna get a cup soon. I always like to sip on something when I'm working.
A beer?
Ooh, would you like a beer?
Sure. Actually, I've found that stream beers are the best beers.
What beers?
Stream beers?
Who?
Stream. Like while you're streaming?
Oh, stream beers.
Yeah. And then if you tell your chat, hey, we're going to get a beer, you guys should get a beer too.
Yeah,
they'll drink with you.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's so fun.
Alright, guys, go to your fridges, grab a beer.
Crack open a cold one.
I'm gonna check if we have any beers. We might be all out. I might have some White Claw though.
Yeah, let's get white girl wasted on the white claws.
Yeah. While we're using soldering irons and heat guns, and maybe we can break out the saw while we're at it.
A4 says he or she, don't know if it's a he or she, is getting drunk on shots of vodka.
Whoa.
Wow.
Is
on a
he
Sunday
or she-
afternoon.
Is he or she from Russia?
I don't know. Are you from Russia? He said he's a male and he's from Southern California. Nice.
Oh.
Russian heritage, maybe? I don't know.
Are your parents Russian?
Maybe he just likes vodka.
Maybe. Man, shots of vodka on a Sunday afternoon. Nice.
Maybe he's in college. Those were the good old days when you were drunk like most of the time there. I wasn't. I'm just speaking about other people I knew. Okay.
Man, these wiring harnesses are a tedious business. This is just the test ones too.
Yeah. You know, you could probably just repurpose these to be the real ones too.
Yeah. The reason I'm hesitant is because I really want to make the real ones like nice and clean.
Oh yeah, like perfect length and everything.
Yeah, like perfectly routed.
Post a meme. I know a good one I can post.
Alright, while you do that, I'm gonna find some beers / White Claw.
I don't know if they have this meme. Dang it.
as I suspected, we only have White Claw. Would you like raspberry or ruby grapefruit?
I'll take raspberry.
All right.
Let's see if this one works. Alright, let's see if this one works.
Oh shit.
Oh, I did it the wrong way around. Watch.
Huh. Oh.
It says raspberry White Claw.
All right, let's cheers our viewers who are hopefully drinking with us.
How far along do we think we're going to get during the stream?
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers. By the way, we don't recommend drinking. This is
What? This is just shelter water?
we want to get the motor running this stream.
Yeah. So we better focus.
Mark's also drinking vodka. Nice.
What? We have 2 people drinking vodka? You guys are pretty hardcore. Wow. Anybody drinking any White Claws? The manliest drink.
The best drink. Oh, you know that band that we go see at that place, like the place downtown?
Yeah.
So this time he was just like the lead guitar player was walking around, so I introduced myself and Sarah,
Yeah.
and he's like really weird,
Oh, really?
really weird.
Why? What did he say?
I don't know. He just was saying some kind of weird stuff, but he's a cool
Like
guy
what?
though.
Like, was this just mannerisms were kind of?
Yeah,
weird?
just he's kind of like quirky guy.
Oh.
But yeah, I like complimented him on his guitar because he had like a vintage SG, and he thought that was cool that I knew. But
Did
he
you ask
was
him
saying
about
that
the
they.
pink guitar?
Oh no, I didn't. But he was saying that they have like they have this night where they play at a bar or a restaurant or something, and they invite people to come and play. Because I told him we were in a band.
Oh, did he invite you?
I don't think he did. But
I'm gonna show
Maybe.
up anyway.
maybe he was subtly suggesting it.
Oh, where was it though?
But yeah, they played a good show. I don't know where it is. He said the name of it, but I forgot what it was.
Alright, this time the connector's done.
Just got beer. It's beer o'clock in Germany. Hello from the USA.
We got a German.
We got a German. My
I always
family's
love it
heritage
when,
is German.
I always love it when other people from other countries watch.
I'm a mutt though.
What?
European mutt.
A European mutt? What is that?
Like my family heritage.
It's just like a mix of all European races.
Pretty much.
Got any German in you?
I do.
Could be related to that guy.
I could, maybe. I have German, Danish, Czech. I think that's it. English, I think. I don't know.
So let me try that.
Whoa, everyone's German. What? All of our viewers are German.
Just when you thought you were done. There's another one for you.
Oh, shit. I might need some help on that.
I still have to make the third.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The third connector.
Well, I sped up a little bit, so we're cooking now.
That one's a bigger one, too.
I got a White Claw, too. That'll speed
yeah.
up my production by at least 25%.
Don't forget to keep sipping.
All right, chat. It's going to get loud. How many amps are we planning?
Up to 300. That's as much as this guy can handle. Peak.
Damn.
300 amps peak. But this can handle up to 150 amps continuous, which is still a lot. At least for our purposes. I wonder how many amps a Tesla outputs. Probably way more than that. Alright. Now.
Alright.
This connector. Oh boy, here we go.
One more.
Do you got that green guy?
Oh, can you clip this for me real quick?
Yeah. Wait. Actually, yeah, you can use this. Have the right one.
Okay. Well, this guy says, I had no plan on how I got to this channel, but it looks exactly like the type of content that I would watch.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Nice.
We hope it is.
Yeah. We build a lot of random electronic crap.
We haven't been on top of our game lately because we've been very busy, but
We're getting back on the game.
getting back in the game.
Okay. There's one wiring harness complete.
Sick.
Tesla seems around max 1,000 amps.
Holy.
Jesus.
I think that can kill you. 1,000 amps. Can somebody look up what's the minimum amperage needed to kill a man?
I'm pretty sure it's like 2 amps.
2 amps.
But if it goes, yeah, if
yeah,
it
it depends on where it travels.
right, if it goes through your heart, then you are screwed.
We're working with up to 300 of those.
What's the motor used for? We are going to put it in this tiny little kid's car, and is going to go like 45 miles an hour.
Hell yeah. We need to show off this thing a little bit better. It looks pretty sick.
There you go.
So I give you.
It's a Ford Raptor.
Ain't it a beauty? I'd say so.
Why didn't you choose something like a Tesla, Davis?
Well, Aaron, because the Ford F-150 is a massive car, and it gives me much more space to place them, like 50 batteries. Okay, not 50. I forgot how many batteries. I have like 15 battery packs, so it'll give me plenty of room to work with, plenty of room to store the batteries, and all the other stuff that goes inside. Because there are a lot of smaller Power Wheels out there, but they're like tiny because they're made for, it's like toddlers, right? So there's not a lot of room to work with. But I was just trying to buy a bike helmet one day at Walmart, and these Power Wheels are in the same aisle as where all the bicycles and bicycle equipment are, and I looked up and I saw this beautiful F-150, and it was love at first sight. And I walked out to Walmart with the Power Wheel that day.
You sound like such an American.
I know, I'm just trying to be.
It was love at first sight when I saw that pickup truck.
When I saw that Ford F-150, I'm just trying to be ridiculous.
It's deadly above 100 or 200 milliamps.
Milliamps.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. If it goes through your heart, it can stop your heart, kill you.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the a lot on the conditions. Because I definitely had a roommate. Do you need something?
Yeah, I need the strippers.
I definitely had a roommate that like was changing a light bulb in the bathroom once, and all of a sudden he felt like his fingers were buzzing. But it was because he like touched these exposed wires, so he was getting like, what is it, like 110 volts? I don't know how many amps though.
Yeah, one of my coworkers was telling me about how when he was a kid, he was trying to like he had like a Xbox or something, and he was trying to pull the cable out of the wall for like a lamp to like plug his Xbox in, but it was like a really old cable, and he was wet because he just took a shower, so he like grabbed the wire and pulled, but it exposed the raw wire, and he was wet and he touched it, and it jumped from him to the ground because he was sitting on the ground, so it like electrocuted him.
Holy crap!
And his parents had to, I guess, like slam on the fuse box to shut the power off, because it's like there's a key that they needed to get into it, but they didn't know where the key was, so his dad just like slammed the fuse box with
was he getting electrocuted this whole time? Or?
Yeah. They didn't want to touch him though, because then they would get electrocuted too.
Was he like frozen?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Jesus, that's scary. If I was the dad running towards a fuse box, like every second that passes, I'm like, oh, right, that kid's dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you made a good choice or a bad choice, but this ruby grapefruit White Claw.
The grapefruit is pretty good.
Done with these?
Yeah. Oh wait, I still need these.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Do what you need.
I thought we had more wire strippers. Maybe not.
Yeah, I kind of want to buy one of those fancy ones. That like it's pretty much like automatic.
Holy sh! We have 22 viewers now.
Damn. do I do while I wait?
Sorry, almost done.
There's probably something I can do. Yeah, so Aaron, what I'm thinking is, so I got this breadboard here,
Yeah.
right? So we need to like hook up the circuit in order to test out all the functions of the motor controller.
Yeah.
One of them being the throttle,
Okay.
another one being like the low and high power mode.
Okay.
One of them just, trying to get the motor running, obviously. But I'm thinking we can use this DC power supply as the throttle. So we can just adjust the voltage.
Okay. Where's like the actual power coming from? It's from the batteries, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we just hook up 2 batteries. So it won't have full power,
Yeah.
But it needs a 12 volt supply and a 5 volt supply. So I'm thinking we'd take the 12 volt battery out of the power wheel and hook up that battery to this breadboard. And then I have this 12 volt to 5 volt converter here.
Okay.
That's what this aluminum thing is. Yeah, so this piece is a 12 volt to 5 volt converter. Basically, you supply power to this module using these red and black wires. That's the input, and then it will step that voltage down to 5 volts and output it through these black and yellow wires. And this will help us power things like the throttle, the switches for like low and high power mode, and stuff like that. Thanks. Okay. Get stripping.
Give a short summary of the parts that are laying around there.
Alright, so what we got on my table, me in the green shirt here, on the bottom left side.
Looks kind of like navy blue in the video.
/ navy blue. This is the motor controller. And as you might guess, it controls the motor. And the reason we need a motor controller that looks so gnarly is because rather than controlling a very simple brushed DC motor, we're trying to control a brushless DC motor, which takes 3 power leads, as you can see on the motor. And it has Hall effect sensors, which tell you the position of the motor, and it also has a built-in temperature sensor that the motor controller can use for an emergency shutoff if the motor's overheating. So it's a little bit more complicated than your just regular, hobby electronics DC 12 volt motor. And it also has to handle a lot of current, so there's a lot of pretty neat electronics inside the motor controller to handle all that current and alternate it properly. On the top left here, this is just the benchtop power supply, and this is mostly just used for testing. So I can emulate basically the throttle by adjusting the voltage on this power supply, so that I can test the motor. And these guys hanging off of the motor controller, these will go to the battery. And I don't really have many more parts on the table besides this breadboard, which we're using sort of as a benchtop breadboard circuit, just to test out the circuit functionality. And this here, I just mentioned, is a 12 volt to 5 volt step down. It has some cooling fins because some heat is generated when that happens, so that'll be good when it's actually in the car. But you put 12 volts into 2 wire leads, and then 5 volts come out the other side, because we have various electronics that takes different voltages in our system. But basically that's what we have for now. We'll be hooking up the batteries and some other stuff a little bit later. But then the major piece of hardware, for those who haven't seen, is right there. Take it in.
How is that motor normally used? Like, what's it normally used for?
So this is from some. I think this motor is like manufactured in China because like a lot of the drawings that came with it had a bunch of Chinese on it, but I think it's an American company that makes it. But it's really a multi-purpose motor. A lot of motors can be used for a lot of different purposes just because, you know, it's a motor, right? There's a shaft on the end of it that makes it spin. Or sorry, it doesn't make it spin, but there's a shaft on the outside that spins. So on their website, I think I've seen examples of people using this motor for like, like dune buggies, or like people have put it into go-karts, or just any small vehicle basically. And the same company that makes this motor makes another, like a more powerful version that I was considering getting, except it was just too expensive and required too many batteries. But they actually this company supplied the electric motors for a motorcycle company called Zero, or maybe it's like a motorcycle model called Zero, but it was an electric motorcycle. This one isn't quite as powerful, but long story short, it can be used in basically any small vehicle application. Or anything that just needs a powerful motor that spins at this particular speed with this amount of power. It can really be used for anything you want. Alright. Now let's start crimping. How's it going over there, Aaron?
It's good. I'm moving now.
Alright, sweet. Got some of that White Claw in you.
Yeah, sorry this stuff's really tedious. We promise we're going to hook up the motor within the next few minutes. Maybe more like... I don't know. It's going pretty fast now.
Yeah. I have to download the software on my Windows computer. Should I start doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. How about I do that while you do this?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
In the meantime, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And feel free to
vodka shots.
Feel free to create some memes with the CHATBOT.
Yeah, show us some memes. I want to see some memes.
You can display memes on the video if you use the !SM command.
How many vodka shots are we in, boys? I'm gonna get my computer. guess I'll switch the camera over here for now. Okay.
Okay. Give background to the meme machine. So I built a chatbot on one of our previous streams, and basically it just listens for chats in the chat box below the video, and if it recognizes any commands, like there's the !SM command, it will do things like show memes on the video. So there's information in the description about how to do that. And so unfortunately it's kind of hard to find the memes that you can use, but there's a URL in the description that you can take a look at, and it's kind of like this big blob of text. But if you search for anything with a name and then a name preceding that or following that, then you can use those memes to create memes through the chat. So yeah, just take a look at that URL and see if you can find anything that you can use to create a meme. Yeah, the memes are, you can find the memes through that URL in the description of the video. I need to figure out a better way to display those so that it's easier to find the memes, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it.
Oh wow, this is a very lightweight program. Basically doesn't require any installation, but the motor has to be wired properly before I can even run the program. Okay, so that should be pretty much ready to go. I need to get the cable to connect the USB port of the computer to the motor now.
Yeah, I know it's not tough to make a web app that does that. I'm just lazy and I haven't gotten around to doing it. Maybe that will be my next stream project.
Got another raspberry in Ruby grapefruit.
All right, there we go.
I'll try the raspberry next. Okay, so I got this adapter.
Can you hand me that?
This guy?
Yeah.
I got this adapter. It's USB to whatever this is. What is it? Serial. But the motor controller has. Wait a second. Where is this cable?
We have to make it.
Wait a second. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. I have to find it. It's been a while since I saw it. this guy. Looking through the data sheet of the motor controller here to try to see what the connection to the computer is supposed to be like.
They can't see it. It's way too bright.
Oh yeah, I know. Let's see, table of contents. Connections, maintenance. Programming. Mounting the controller. Pin definitions. Ah, here we go. Oh, it's the 4-pin connector. Okay. So this little guy on this wiring harness that's coming out of the motor controller is what interfaces with our computer. I'm pretty sure, I think the thing came with the mating clip to this, so I'm gonna see if I can go find that inside.
Now you're stuck with me. Yes, I have finally finished this beast. So many freaking connections that I had to make. Okay, let's heat shrink this stuff up. What are you guys doing this weekend besides watching us build this power wheel? By the way, cheers.
Found it.
While you're gone, Stream told me that they like me better than you.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I already knew that. Here's a connector. This goes to the motor controller. This goes to my adapter. Alright.
Do you have any more
Heat shrink?
self-employed? That's the dream though, man.
Who's self?
It's hard work, but it's worth it. Okay. Get this here. Working on your thesis and building a stone grill. That sounds really cool.
Dope. Cook some
What
steak
will
on
you
them?
cook on your stone grill? by the way. You can use this if you need it.
Oh, I think I'm good for that for now.
Okay. All right, chat. It's gonna get really loud. I'm gonna turn on this blow drying heat gun thing. Okay. Do you have any more heat shrink?
Yeah, plenty. See, having all the right tools and materials, people, makes things go so much easier. I don't know how many times when I like started this project, when I was like, oh, I don't have heat shrink, and then I go to the store, and then I don't have this, and I go to the store.
Yeah. But now you have all the tools, so next time you build something, be much faster.
Exactly. Yeah, most of my time with this project so far has just been buying stuff.
By the way, stream, if anybody donates through the chat, we will be very thankful, and so thankful that we'll actually post your name in the credits to this video when we make the final video, which we think will probably get a lot of views because it will be a very fast machine. So yeah, if you donate through the chat, we'll record your name and then put you in the video. I wish there was more information online. Like when I was starting the YouTube channel, like I was really curious, you know, how much YouTubers make, right?
Yeah.
With like the amount of subscribers that we have, and I could barely find any information about it online. But it's actually not a lot. Like you make like, I think per 1,000 views you make like $1 or maybe $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you need to get consistently like a ton of views to get a lot of money. But we don't really have that because we don't make that many videos, right? But like if you had more of a following, you know, and you posted videos consistently, and then you made money from like merchandise and stuff, you could probably make quite a bit.
Right. And it also like just helps fund the projects that you're doing.
Right.
Because like some videos doesn't like take that much. You know, there's videos on YouTube where it's like a 6-second clip of a waffle falling over. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that out. Waffle falling over. And then like boom, millions of views, 6-second video. But
Right.
like this stuff takes a lot of time, a lot of money.
Right.
So even if you get like a lot of views, it
Yeah.
only just covers like
Yeah.
part of
Actually,
the
I might write a blog post about this. I've been thinking about writing some information about it. But you definitely have to like supplement the money that you make from ad revenue with other things. Like I know like sponsorships are a huge thing. Like you probably make way more money from sponsorships than ad revenue.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
All right, it's gonna get loud again, chat. All right. Another connector has been finished.
Sweet. Alright, I need to make sure the batteries are charged.
Yeah, so you need this thing.
Yeah. Can you work on this one?
Yes.
You know where are the wires?
I don't know how to put them on the thing though.
Oh, you basically just like, I think the orientation is just like this. The open crimp side up, and just shove them in. And sometimes like it won't click all the way, so I just take this little screwdriver and I just go inside and, you know, right on the end of the terminal and just snap it in. You'll hear a nice little click.
Okay. Is this the last one?
Yeah, it's the last one.
Right.
And it goes to this connector, because you see there's the male pins here,
Mm-hmm.
and those are all the female pins. So you can match
This one?
Yeah. Ow, fuck. Touch the heat gun.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the only one with the male pins.
Okay.
Alright. And I'm gonna start charging the battery.
Okay. I should probably move this thing.
Yeah. Actually, we can just like set it up like this.
Okay.
Actually, I guess I'll charge it here. Okay, so I'm going to charge 2 batteries for us to use when testing out the motors. In the final system, we're going to have actually 15 batteries, but all we need is a little bit of power to turn the motor to make sure that functionally it checks out.
Wait,
So,
sorry, which way does this go again?
I
Is it
think
like that,
it's,
or is it like that?
I think, so you see how like when you look at that connector, it's more, the terminal's more on the bottom side?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not really.
oh, actually, yeah, I thought hold on, let me look at it. That's a good question. It looks to me like the curved part, like the round part
Yeah.
at the end, is actually on top.
Wait. Okay.
Because then, like, these terminals, which are like on the bottom, would slide underneath it, I think. Actually, you can test it out by clipping it on, right? Actually, it probably goes on both ways.
Yeah.
Oh. But if we look at these pre-made connectors, this goes with this. Alright, so.
Okay, I see. I see how it goes.
Okay, sweet.
Can I?
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to use 2 batteries to check out the functionality. And we have to charge these batteries first. And this is a Light Pro balance charger, which you can use to charge a lot of different types of hobby electronics batteries, LiPo batteries, lithium-ion batteries. But this thing only charges 1 battery at a time. And because every time we take our car out for a ride, we have to charge all 15 batteries, I bought a few of these parallel battery chargers that will help us charge multiple batteries at the same time.
Also, do I need those red things?
What other things? Oh, yeah.
Do I put them on after?
Yeah, you can put them on
Okay.
after.
I'll just put them on.
Okay. So yeah, this black piece here will help. You can plug in multiple batteries in there at the same time. However, even with this parallel battery charger, you want to make sure that the batteries you are charging are at relatively the same voltage level. Otherwise, it's hard to balance the amount of charge you're putting to each battery. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a couple of my batteries and measure the voltage level on these batteries with a multimeter to see if they are close enough in voltage level that it would be safe to parallel charge them. So I've got my multimeter, and let me find the batteries. So I have a box of 15 of these. These batteries, they have your primary wire leads, your black and your red, and then you have this other lead which helps with the balancing when you hook it up to a charger for charging and discharging. Because each of these batteries is made up of multiple cells inside, so there's a circuit built into these batteries with some wire leads coming out, which helps to connect to your battery charger or discharger and charge or discharge each cell within this battery pack in a balanced manner. So when we charge these, we'll have to plug all of these leads into our battery charger. But first, like I said, we'll have to check the voltage to see if we're okay. So these are about 14 to 15 volts. I set my multimeter to 20 volts. And we'll check the leads. Also, one thing I'd recommend, all of these motor controllers and batteries that are manufactured in China, with not a lot of information on the website, seems to be made by a fairly sketchy company, both from the manufacturing side and from the design side, because there's not a lot of documentation. It's a good idea to check the leads to make sure that they were actually made according to how they claimed. I've read stories online of battery leads being shipped backwards, which can cause shorts, which can be very dangerous. So I always like to check and make sure.
Just be careful.
Yeah, that the leads are hooked up in the proper manner. So it looks like this is. I'm getting positive 15 volts.
Watch out, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm getting positive 15 volts. So it looks like the leads are in the right position. Actually, let me look at that one more time.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, 15.12. Let's see what this one's at. Should be about the same. Negative lead to the negative lead, positive lead to the positive, 15.14. Okay, so they're pretty much the same voltage, so they should be safe to parallel charge together.
Do you have those female connectors?
What's that?
Do you have the female connectors?
The terminals?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, those things.
oh, yeah. Charger, parallel charging board. Let's try this guy on. I'm gonna move your connector down a little bit. Or your charger down. Let's put it down here.
Alright, so I'm assuming you need this shit wired to this.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
I think we're gonna converge at a pretty good point though.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a 4S battery. So the balance leads connect to the 4S ports. We want to connect the balance leads first, just to be safe. Got your clothes? Got your clothes?
I did.
We're live streaming right now.
You guys are viewing my operation.
Your tomato plant operation? We're actually making pretty good progress.
You don't want to be on live.
I think I'm standing over here, but they can't see me.
I don't think they can see me.
I'll just make sure.
We're making pretty good progress right now,
On the power whip.
though. Yeah.
Are you guys not present for White Claw right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gets,
We have two more over there too.
The juices
You want to
flowing.
join in?
Where do you guys get food? Sushi Rito?
I got a sushi rip. She got some vegan shit.
It's good vegan shit.
That's the motto.
Wait, since when did I have 3 batteries out here?
That's their motto.
Guess I'm following. Are you gonna do this now?
What are you saying?
When did I have 3 batteries out here?
There's one right there.
I know, I thought I only had 2.
Oh.
And die? Close the door.
Yeah, can you close it please?
Yeah.
Thanks. Four.
Red. I need a black.
$15.1 Okay, they're all about the same. Aaron, do you understand what this is saying? I'm afraid to do this incorrectly. So this balance board has all these balance leads, right?
Yeah.
And they're different sizes depending on how many cells are in your battery.
Okay.
But like but I don't know which one to plug into which, or if it doesn't matter.
I think it doesn't matter. That's why it says it could be randomly plugged into corresponding ports.
But what is this thing? What are those diagrams up there? See, there's like a minus and a plus, and then there's an arrow going down this way and then up this way. Which I think corresponds to those diagrams, but I'm not sure what it's saying.
I would just do just plug it in how they have it on this. Just use that picture because you can see where the wires are.
Yeah. I think it yeah. Alright. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was saying depends on the battery or what. I think it should be fine.
Ask chat what they think.
Chat, anybody have experience with these parallel battery chargers? There's a bunch of balance leads that you have to plug it into, but there's many balance leads, as you can see, or terminals, which are these white connectors. I think you can just plug it into any one of them that matches your battery cell count, which in our case is 4 cells per battery. Well, we can just see if it doesn't blow up. Let me grab the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
I have checked that this fire extinguisher is rated for this type of fire, chemical fire from lithium polymer batteries, so we'll keep that handy.
You might also want to wear some gloves if it arcs, right?
Maybe.
There's some right there if you want those.
Did you buy these?
Yeah.
Did you just bring them over today?
No, brought them over a while ago.
Oh. Did you see some scissors laying around?
Yeah, they're down there.
Oh. You don't need this, right?
What is it?
I think it's a receipt.
Oh, no.
Ooh, I like these gloves.
Guaranteed to prevent tendon injuries on your fingers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, you might have noticed, if you were very observant, that these connectors don't really connect to our parallel charging board. So, I have made adapters.
A4 says Godspeed.
Thank you. Where did I put these connectors? Oh,
Magic smoke.
can you hand me those two adapter thingies? Yeah, and then there's another one right there.
Did you wire these up correctly?
Hopefully. So here we have this connector hooked up to this connector. So let's just double check. Black to black, red to red. That's on the positive side of the board. Okay. Red is on the positive side. That hooks up. Yep, okay. Should be good. I'm about about ready to crack open another White Claw. Can you hand me a raspberry there, Aaron?
Sure.
Thank you.
Somebody says, I see batteries and cables. Seems exactly the time for magic smoke.
Yeah, especially when you have it all in a big jumbled mess so you don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Perfect recipe for smoke.
First day back in the workshop with my newly healed finger, and something else goes wrong.
Add to that, but don't do what we're doing, kids. Drinking White Claw while we're working on this.
I think we just need one person to like validate that the other one. Wait a second.
What?
I think you should plug them in on opposite sides because that's what it did on
Oh,
the.
yeah. I don't think it matters, but just to be extra cautious. I'm running out of space here.
Holy shit! We got 32 viewers.
Oh my god.
That's
We
actually pretty
is that,
good.
Is that cruising altitude?
That is cruising altitude.
So
Alright, let's raise the camera up so you can see too.
for those of you who have newly joined us, we are drinking White Claw. We have a few.
We're not sponsored.
we have a few viewers who are also taking shots of vodka, apparently. So if you want to grab a beer from the fridge or, down some just straight up vodka, please join us.
A couple viewers have already downed a few shots of vodka.
But what we're doing today, we're working on our power wheel, which is right there.
By the way, they say they demand the magic smoke now.
Magic smoke now. In due time. This is basically what we're working on. This is a Power Wheels car. It's a kid's car. You can find it at Walmart. It's a project that I've always wanted to do because I saw a YouTube video of a bunch of adults with welders, is what they called it. Basically stripping the entire underside of the kid's car and welding their own frame, putting in gasoline engines, and just drifting in the snow. And it looked like a lot of fun, so I've always wanted to do it ever since I saw the video. And finally one day I was at Walmart and I saw this beauty in the bike aisle, and I decided to finally do it. But instead of doing a gas motor, we're doing an electric motor.
Because we can get way more power out of it. Gas motors are overrated.
Yes, electric motors are the future.
Yes.
And so we're jumping right in, joining the future with the electric motor. And we haven't gotten the electric motor running yet, and the point of today is to build a benchtop prototype of the motor control circuit to test out the functionality of our motor controller, our motor, and our battery packs. So we've been tediously making all of these wiring harnesses for the throttle, for the Hall effect sensors, which tell you the position of the motor, for the temperature sensor, which we probably won't actually get a readout of today, but we are just basically wiring it up such that we can see if we can get this motor spinning today. It's a brushless DC motor, so it's a lot more, it's a little bit more complicated than just hooking up two wire leads to a battery like you would with a regular cheap hobby DC motor. So that's why it's taking a little bit of time, but we're almost there. And right now I'm just parallel charging two lithium polymer batteries so that we can have at least a little bit of power, not the full power, because I'm going to have 15 of these batteries in the full system, but just enough so that we can see if we can get the motor running. So right now I'm hooking it up to the parallel charging board so we can charge both of these batteries at the same time, and then hopefully that will give us enough power to run the motor. And I've made these little adapters to hook up the leads of our batteries to our parallel charging board. And working with these batteries are always a little bit dangerous because who knows? There's a lot of things that could go wrong. So we have a fire extinguisher rated for chemical fires.
And I will double check Davis's work to verify that everything looks good.
This is your charger, so you know it better than I do.
I don't know if it does parallel charging though.
It doesn't straight out of the box, which is
that's
why
the best thing.
Yeah, that's why I bought this.
Yeah, wait, let me double check.
Yeah, wait, let me plug this in. It's not on any charging mode right now, or I mean, it's not active right now. But I'll plug this in, and then you can check my work.
Okay, what's our game plan if something goes wrong? You just take that out, right?
Yeah, we can unplug this guy. Orange to the white cord on the garage floor here.
Okay.
We've got a fire extinguisher next to the shelf on the side here.
Okay.
And then we can also screen.
Okay. Let's try it.
All right. So a little bit of a menu we gotta get through here. So lithium polymer, which is the type of battery we have on charge mode. The 14.8 volts corresponds to the nominal voltage of our batteries. It's a 4S battery, means there's 4 cells in each battery pack connected in series, 4S, S for series. Our charge rate is going to be at 1 amp. I believe it can handle a higher current rate than that, but because it's the first time I'm doing this, I'm going to set it to a lower amperage just to be, safe, make sure everything checks out. We're going to keep an eye on the battery, make sure they're not swelling. We'll touch it every once in a while, make sure it doesn't get hot. Because if you're familiar with lithium ion or lithium polymer batteries of the hobby type, a lot of people have had things go wrong handling this. So it's definitely the right precautions have to be taken. Okay, so let's start this. Okay.
Magic smoke time.
Yep. Battery check. So it does one check before you start it. It tells you what you've set it to, which is the 4 in series, a 4-cell battery. And then you can confirm that is, yes, this is indeed a battery pack with 4 cells in parallel. So press enter to confirm. And now we are charging. So it's at 15.12 volts, which is about what I measured with the multimeter. So that checks out. And we'll just let this go until it's done.
What is that?
The leaves. Aaron's all paranoid now.
I don't want any more accidents.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on the battery, make sure it's not swelling or doing anything it's not supposed to. Or getting hot. Because that would be a bad sign. Alright, be vigilant, viewers on chat. If there's any smoke, please make some noise. Alright, now I gotta charge the battery that came with the power wheels, because that's a 12-volt battery, which is perfect for powering the peripheral electronics in our circuit. So I want to make sure that's charged so that we can have a 12-volt power supply. Yeah, can you keep an eye on that, on those batteries every once in a while, right?
Sure.
So this is the engine of our power wheel. that came stock. This is the stock engine. Really just a battery pack. Because I'm using my benchtop power supply as the throttle, I needed another source of power for 12 volts. And because the battery that came with the car happens to be at 12 volts, I'm going to use it to power our peripheral electronics in our circuit. First, I gotta find a charger. Oh wait, I think it's in the trunk. What is this connected to? Can I unplug this?
What?
Is this just a light? I just want to move it down one.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so this battery is charging. See, the reason why we use lithium polymer batteries and lithium ion batteries is because this battery, which is just 12 volts, is very heavy and very bulky. I'm guessing this is like a lead acid battery. Yeah, it's a lead acid battery. And while they're a lot cheaper, they're much more bulky and heavy, which I couldn't have like 15 of these in the car. It would just be too much space and too much mass. So that's why I had to go with the polymer batteries. So here. Don't trip over this, Aaron.
All right. Can you turn the music down just a little bit?
Yeah.
Afraid that the
Oh, the YouTube.
big bad YouTube police are going to
Yeah.
catch us.
Okay. Looks like the batteries aren't smoking. Oh shit! I see smoke.
Oh.
Oh, that's just the solder. Okay. Okay. I realize I don't have a connector coming out of this battery to the circuit board, so I think I need to take the harness from here and repurpose it.
Okay. Let's do it.
So let's see where this goes. Looks like this runs underneath the car. Does it? Oh, runs down the center console. Alright, I'm gonna have to take this thing apart.
All right. All the connections are done for these
Sweet.
harnesses. Well, I guess these won't have these.
Oh,
Forget to
that's
put them
okay. Especially because it's a test harness, it doesn't really need them. It's more for just for waterproofing.
on. Where's the heat shrink?
In that like shelf, it's on the left drawer. One of the small ones. Oops. Did you ever find that screwdriver?
This one? Oh no, the
Like a bigger one?
yeah. Could use the drill though.
Oh, yeah. Take one of these lights.
All right, chat. It's gonna get loud again because I have to turn on this heat gun. Go for it. I like the enthusiasm.
That's what we need.
You can do it.
How are those batteries at? Exploding?
They're looking good. I don't see any explosions.
Good.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, so it looks like what we have here is that there's a 12-volt battery that connects to this center console gear lever. And this gear lever originally was supposed to select low and high speed and maybe even reverse. but I need to get the wires out of this because I need to repurpose it for powering our test circuit.
Just cut them, man. Just cut them.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what I'm going to do. Originally, this went back to 2 different motors, but we're scrapping those motors, so we definitely don't even need those.
All right, the heat gun's going back on.
Let me figure out. How to do this. I think I'm working on a real car. I'm gonna actually put this car up on jack stand so I can get underneath and reach the wiring harness.
It's putting the car up on jack stands.
Can you help me out?
Yeah, give me a second.
So just needs you to lift the bumper up, the front of the car up. Try to not pick a spot where it doesn't bend the plastic, because when the plastic bends, it like gets discolored. So just try to find a sturdy spot. Probably like maybe closer to the weight of the car. Okay, that side down. Do this side. Up. That's all right, hold on. Can you go up more? Okay, down? Okay. Thanks.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna take a potty break. But I'm gonna come back and get those wires out.
Alright, just so you guys know, the stream bot has been turned off because I reached my limit for the amount of queries I can make on the API. So, no more chat commands for the rest of the day. Sorry about that. Alright, the heat gun's going back on. Okay, so the wiring harnesses are done. Oh shit.
What happened?
They kind of like, they're too big for the wires, so they kind of like slip off the.
Too big for the wire?
Yeah, I can't see how it like.
Oh, the heat shrink?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, the other ones I did like with these, like still on them, but it's probably fine. At least that's a lesson learned for the system learning artists.
Okay, you're good on those.
Sweet. Alright, I just need to snip these wires. Got these giant cable cutters. I'm going to use to snip 12-volt wires off.
Going round 2 on the White Claw.
Yeah, I'm already on round 2. Some sort of connection back here that I can't see very well. Oh, it connects to the foot pedal.
Of course it does.
I think I might just snip it off here.
Do it. You can always resolder it later.
Yeah. Alright.
I don't know why you would though, because it's not gonna work.
What?
I mean, I don't know why you would.
Would resolder it? Yeah. Do we have masking tape? I just want to take this here to make sure I don't lose it.
Yeah.
Or
Duct tape.
Duct tape. That'll work. I got these to snip those giant cables because that 0 gauge wire is just
Way
a
too
bunch
big.
of copper. Yeah, it's really just cutting off metal. Alright, I'm not connected to any power, so I'm just gonna snip these two at the same time.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh no, the copyright infringement.
Alright.
I'm actually surprised with the dude. I still have that much battery. I've been live streaming this for watching the live stream for 3 hours now.
Yeah. Longest battery ever in an iPhone.
Yeah.
Until 2 years
Pleasantly
later.
surprised. Yeah, until they
2 years later.
degrade the performance with software. And then you have to buy a new phone.
Yeah. Alright. So I just cut this off of the car, and we can use that to hook it up to our battery, and then hook that up to our circuit. So I guess we need to solder some more pins on here. Do we have any more of those?
Which pin? Oh,
black and a white.
Dude, are you sure that you should pump that much?
No,
juice
this
through
no, this is just for the peripheral stuff, like
Okay.
the throttle and like
Okay.
it's just like side electronics.
Oh, okay. Got
The,
it,
the power to the motor is going to come from the batteries.
yeah, just put it in white. You
Oh.
want a black and a white one?
Yeah, ideally. Did you level up on soldering skill?
No, it's really shitty soldering. Okay, one of these is gonna be way longer than the other one, but
Oh, okay.
oh wait, no.
Strip these. This is.
Just make sure to cut the female ends off, not the male ones.
Okay. Wait, this is both female. Is there a male?
What is?
Yeah. Okay, so this is 14 gauge wire, right? Thanks.
This one's mine, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh shit. Just kidding. It's gonna take a really long time to charge these, right? They're like 5,000 milliamp.
Yeah, but
There's
they're,
two of them.
but I think they're already. I mean, they're at 15 volts now, so like I think that should be enough, right? Wait, can you help me think about this? Should we
Let me calculate.
put these in series or parallel? So if we put them in series, we can double the voltage and just not draw that much current, right?
Series. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just won't last for very long.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be doing anything
Right. We just
crazy.
need to test the functionality. We're not going to go full blast.
So, but you need to know like how much you can drive that at. Like, what's the minimum?
The minimum is I think like 24 volts or something like that.
Oh, so you definitely need to do series then. If you do parallel, it's
Oh yeah,
the
that's,
same voltage.
that's true. That's true. Actually, yeah. What was the rating on these? I actually haven't figured out how yet right now to connect them in series or parallel.
With series, it's just easy. You just take the red wire from one, put it to the negative.
Oh yeah,
wire.
like right, that part I know, but like to actually use connectors
Oh.
and like where on the board, and we might have to fuse two wires together, like with those red and black ones.
Oh, okay.
Would you mind
Sure.
helping figuring that part out
Okay.
while I like make this?
Can do that.
Okay, sweet. Change some of these camera angles.
Yep. I don't know if anybody's still there. I mean, it says 28 viewers, but nobody is commenting in chat.
They're just watching.
I'm surprised they're still watching at this point.
It went up
They
one.
want to see. Oh dang! They want to see the motor turn on. Let's go. Let's turn the motor on.
I'm trying. All right, help me figure out how to wire those batteries up in series. I've
So
got
what does it have
I've got
to
all the
connect to?
materials. So this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal, basically.
Okay, so I need to create one of these that has. Or wait. Well, I definitely need to create one that has a connector that goes to two of these wires.
Yeah. So we could like make one of these guys just without this connector, just two like leads.
Okay. Can you attach those here?
Yeah, I think we could just use. Maybe can we just clamp them with the
Oh, yeah.
nut?
Yeah, you can just do that.
Yeah.
And then. create one that, or you create two connectors.
Yeah.
One where the positive.
Oh yeah, you can
is
use
bridged.
these separately too. So we don't actually have to solder the leads together. We could just
Right.
clamp them. Wait, no. Because you have to connect the positive of one to the negative of the other.
Right. So you create one connector, or two connectors. One that has the positive bridge to the negative on the other connector,
Mm.
and then you have two wires coming out, which you plug into this.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody saying anything in chat?
Time is now. Yeah, people are just working at the side, but still want to see the motor running.
Yeah, hell yeah! All right, we have to get this working for our loyal fans. How do I make one of these connectors?
Yo, drink some more of your grapefruit ruby grapefruit so that you can, you know.
I need to connect one of these. I need to connect two.
Like what?
I don't know how these work.
Oh, I can show you.
Do you want to solder it? I can solder the other thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need these. I need two of them, right?
Yeah.
That one. That. Whoops. Treasure.
Dude, this would have taken me so long by myself.
Glad I can help. Oh gosh, this is gonna be such. Which number did you use when you stripped this?
14.
This is going to be such a weird connection.
Yeah.
It's like 22 gauge to 14 gauge.
Yeah. Yeah, that was originally like designed to power a motor, but we're not using it to power a motor. Okay. So
What's this project about? We are adding a giant motor to this kid's toy, and we'll make it go 45 miles an hour
and accelerate really fast.
with that giant motor right there.
And this military looking grade motor controller with these pretty gnarly heat fins. Is that angle good?
That works for me.
Okay, so these. So the positive of this. Positive of this goes to the negative of that. Positive needs to be small. Negative. Okay. Slightly confusing. Positively coming out is a female. Need it to be. This needs to go that. Okay. Have 6 inches of wire.
getting so fast at this. Finished. Want to trade spots?
I'm still trying to think. So, yeah, 2 colors. So we need red to the black, and then 2 of the 4 terminals. Okay, so I just need this one. Trade spots? Do you need trade spots?
What? Do you need soldering right now?
Yeah. Yeah. I need to trade spots. Okay. To the black. Okay, so black. Black takes female.
I don't really want to turn the heat gun on, so I'm just gonna use the lighter for this thing.
Yeah, so Aaron, this is actually kind of cool. There's a hole. There's a hole in the side of this terminal.
Okay.
So basically, like, you you stick some solder in here, and then you put your wire in here. But you can stick like a pointed tip soldering iron into there and just melt the solder onto it.
That is nice.
But we're gonna have to change. We're gonna have to change the soldering iron tip though. I'm gonna cool this down. Strip these. What gauge wire is this? This is 10 gauge wire.
Alright, we're good on this guy too.
Sweet. Where are the wire strippers? Oh, here.
Wonder how the Twitch stream is doing.
Is there a separate comment thread on that?
Yeah. I have not been following around or along. Like,
Alright.
you got one viewer on Twitch.
They're all on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, all on YouTube. And no. Oh. Actually got a lot of views though.
Yeah?
It has got 640 views.
Oh, that's pretty good. 640?
Yeah. Must have all left though. Oh, it's incorrectly labeled though. Basic programming.
Oh.
Oh, Merrick trying to hack our system, eh? He's trying to execute commands.
Were there paper towels around? Oh, yeah.
Stream chat. That's too laggy. Can't do it.
Not sure how you're supposed to exchange this tip.
Twist it.
Shit, like right here?
Yeah.
it's the black piece that's twisting. Maybe I need a wrench. Not that one. Thought I had another one out here.
Do you need to use that tip?
I don't need to, I suppose. Probably get away with not using it. Oh. Okay. So I'm getting the needle nose tip so that I can solder on the connectors onto our battery terminals.
The good old needle nose tip.
Let's see. It's a little hot right now though. So
Turn the motor on. That's what everybody's chanting.
trying. Alright. Plug that bad boy in.
Oh, I was like, how do I plug that in?
Let's get a better view of this thing.
Want me to turn it on?
Yeah, sure. So we got a banana plug right here, basically, that's going to go inside this housing. And it's actually very hard to install it in the housing. And I was having such a difficult time with it. I had to 3D print this adapter tool, which would allow me to press fit this banana plug into the plastic
Dude,
housing.
you should start selling those. Like, I'm not even joking. You should start selling those on.
I read the comments of people who bought this, and they're like, "It's impossible to get these in."
Yeah.
Like I tried, people were saying they were trying to drill it out and like all this other stuff,
Yeah.
but this makes it super duper easy.
I'm not even joking. You should sell that. You could probably make a lot of money.
Probably. All right, we're at 750 degrees. Let's get some solder in here.
White Claws. I'd expect you to be brewing your own garage beer. Maybe we should get into that, Davis.
Maybe. All right, so there's a little solder in there. Breathing in that nice lead. Where's that red?
This one?
Another wire.
Oh, right here.
Oh. So there's a hole in the side of it. That's why I need the needle nose. That's supposed to help me melt the solder, which is currently not working. Oh. Maybe I need to melt it a little bit better. Okay.
You just have to leave it there longer.
Yeah. Oh, it's not going in.
I think you might just have to strip the wire back further.
Maybe. I think I can get a little more solder in here to transfer more heat around. Okay, now if I... Can you press the solder in at all?
Nope.
Well, it's not working as elegantly as I hope.
It's like just moving around in there. What the?
Here, let me try melting it into the pool of solder that was already in there. Okay, that should do the trick. Alright, I'm gonna let go.
Okay. Ready?
And, okay.
Couldn't push it down, but
Oh, maybe it'll solidify. Because I don't think the pocket is that deep.
no, it did
No?
not. It looks like it's. Oh no, it's not.
Damn, this is always tricky.
I think you just need like way more solder in there, dude.
Maybe, okay. I always had problems with making these connectors.
Maybe just like stick it on the top and then.
Yeah. Sometimes the problem is it cools so fast that by the time I try to shove the
Oh, coat this in some solder. Actually, that might help.
okay.
Oh, that heat transfer.
Yeah. This needle nose tip doesn't seem to work as well.
Maybe that's your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even.
There you go.
Alright, there we go. Doesn't like to stick to the copper either. Okay. This falls right. Oh no, we got a light coating in there.
Yeah, everybody's saying go back to the flat tip.
No. Alright. I'm gonna give it one
This is
last
why
try.
they're all trolling. This is why they invented solderless connectors.
Yeah, unfortunately the batteries came with these shitty connectors. Okay, oh, I've got it melted. See if I can quickly shove it in. Oh, that melted fast. Or solidified fast. Like as soon as I got it in, it was solidified.
I think you should just put the tip on the outside of the thing and it will.
Yeah, it's in there now.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe for the next one. It's a little bit crooked, but
that's why wires bend.
yeah, it's pretty crooked. Alright. Now I need the female one. Take the wire first.
That'll do.
That'll do.
So are you gonna order like new wheels for that thing? Or?
Yeah, I want to like figure out the geometry a little bit more before ordering the exact wheels, because depending on like the steering rack and like how the chassis ends up being. Might need different wheels. Yeah, this needle tip sucks. A lot. Nope, that's not it. I can feel the heat in the copper wire. Copper wire is also pretty thick. It's a solid core, so it's just a lot of thermal mass as well.
Yeah. Daniel says, I work on my university's Mars rover team, and we're following the robotic bartender as a basis for running our science tests on the soil. Nice.
What? In what way?
Yeah, what way? I think that what he meant to say is they're just using the robotic bartender to inspire them.
Oh, okay.
Mainly by, building one and making drinks for them while they determine how to run the test.
Speaking of which, where's my White Claw? Is that it? Nice. Man, these connectors have given me so much headache. Maybe more solder.
The chat's like, we want to see the motor run.
Yeah, now it's just like 15 minutes of this stupid connector.
I gotta turn this volume.
Come on, you stupid connector. Alright, there we go. This is the nature of engineering projects. The schedule always slips.
Dude, that is not in there.
Nope.
Just use the chisel, the wide chisel.
Oh, it's so close. I think you're right. Let me just put in more solder. All right, there we go.
Just fill it all the way up to the top.
Yeah. It's just that if it overflows though, I won't be able to get the housing into the connector. All right, boom. There we go. It's in, guys.
It's in.
We're back in business. All right. What about for the other sides? The two leads that are gonna come out.
Oh yeah, just do one female, one.
All right.
Or
You could even use these plugs and then just clamp the plugs to the bus bar, maybe.
Oh no, you don't just put a plug on one
no.
side. No, this is fine.
Wait, no, I needed to slip the housing in.
Oh,
Wait, no, but it goes. Oh wait, no, we're good. It goes in this way.
even on the other side too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the special 3D printed adapter I made, which helps to press the connector in. Let me try to remember how this works. You slip it in like this. Yeah, and then this thing. Oh, it's a little crooked, so. Ooh, I think the crookedness. Oh yeah, there's some solder in the ridge. Might need to force this in there pretty hard.
Can you use like a little hammer and just tap it in there?
Maybe. Do we have one?
Yeah.
I think the solder overflow might be screwing it up. Oh, wait, I remember. What I had to do was use the vise, which is why I have a second version of this.
Oh my.
It's been a little while since I last worked. Yeah. So I made a second version of this with an extension. That way you can let the wire hang out.
That's just bad design. If you have to make this,
Yeah, I know.
like this piece, to,
Like, it is impossible to get in there by hand. Yeah. Okay. So I have the second version that has a little notch in there. You can put it in between the vise, and then let the wires kind of bend out of the way like this. Oops. Not showing it to the camera. Yeah. So now we open up the vise.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you adjust the camera here? Yeah. Now we're in business. Make sure this is straight here. Oh, that just bent the connector.
I don't think that's going in, man.
Oh my god. See, this is how poorly designed these connectors are. Wow.
Is it in there?
No. Wait a second. Am I doing this right? I got it to work before using this method. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I think they're supposed to go the other way.
Okay. Solder up some more
Oh
connectors.
god. Sorry guys.
Ah.
Alright, where's that where's my glue tool? Stick off that end.
We
Put
still
this
have
fresh
28
one on
viewers.
the other side. They're still sticking with us. Alright. Seems like it goes in this way. I believe. Oh, this is so crooked.
There you go.
There. Okay. Now we'll use this to tool. Aha.
Are you sure it goes in like that?
Yeah,
It's in?
yeah, it's in.
Alright.
It's a solid connection right there.
Boom.
All right. Phew. Okay.
Alright, so now you need another female, right?
Yeah. All right, so learn my lesson. Just stick a shit ton of solder in here. Ooh, that's nice and hot. All right. Come on.
The catch is now you can't melt the solder to put the thing in.
Oh wait, I almost made the same mistake again. Can you give me like a fresh housing? Oh, thanks. So this is the female end.
Adam says, "What is this guy building?" Well, I'll show you what we're building. We've done this so many times. We are building this. Okay, so
That's okay. A lot
We've
of
had a few
new,
white
lot
claws,
of new viewers.
We've
here.
had a few White Claws, so
Yeah.
it might not make a lot of sense. But
That's
we're
why
taking
I
this-
spent 15 minutes struggling with getting this connector
we're
on.
taking this giant motor. Here's my hand for scale, and we're putting it in this tiny kid's toy car.
More solder.
And it should go like 45 miles an hour.
Ow. But it is a big project, so.
Yeah, people are saying that's why we're struggling with the connectors.
What, because of the White Claw?
Yeah.
But to be fair, these are some really crappy connectors.
Too many White Claws, so much hate. Well, if we had beers, we would drink them better. This is all we had.
All we had was White Claws. Oh, goddamn. And these solid copper cables just do not like to stick to the solder. They were already super warm in my hand. Come on, we can do it, soldering iron. All right, here we go. And oh, God.
Oh, you got, but it's sticking out the side.
Oh no. Can we just clip that off, you think?
Maybe.
Oops. Why? Why, copper cable? Will you not stick? Okay, I think it's in there now.
How many cables do you have to make?
Well, we just need to make enough to hook it up to
I know, but like for the actual project of these things. 25.
Too many. Okay. Let that cool a little more because it's not the most reliable connection. But I'll try to snip off the excess solder here. Alright, let's see if we can get this to work. Bend it straight. Then use our handy dandy tool. Along with our vise. I also remember now that the other part of this.
Oh, dude, this is not in.
Yeah. Just to get this guy.
Oh, then you put it in there.
Yeah, the opposing terminal. Yeah, it's been a while since I did this. Opposing terminal in here. That way you actually have something to push against rather than just the side of the housing. So we stick this in here. Okay, this is how it's done. There we go.
Boom.
Oh my god.
Then you can't get it out.
Yeah, then you need some pliers to get it out. Just want to make sure the other side is in there with the same method.
Oh, there you go. That's going in way too far, dude.
Yeah, no, it's soft because the press fit is so like bad that it's just like slowly sinks in. Alright, there we go. Wow, that one stupid connector was a lot of work.
Okay. So now you just have to wire out 2 cables from each of those, right?
Yeah, wait, so
So plug it into the battery so you can...
yeah. Alright, we're at 15.25 volts, so that gets over 30 volts. So I think that should be good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stop this. Stop. Okay. Disconnect the batteries from our parallel battery charger. So we're gonna hook up these 2 batteries in series, which means we have to hook the positive lead of one battery to the negative lead of the other. Which is part of the reason why we made this. So positive lead of 1. That goes in here.
Wait, no. You don't do that.
What?
Well, this will have to come out and go to the negative terminal.
Yeah, so we want to have
just
like
connect it like normal.
one wire coming out this way, one wire coming out that way.
My point is just connect it like normal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. And then this positive terminal. Now we gotta be very careful here. Positive terminal
Goes to
must
the
go to the negative. So we have red going to red,
Get those gloves, man.
going to black. Red going to red, going to black. Oh, wait. I just tried to hook it up to the wrong word.
No, that's right.
Oh wait, no, that was right. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's right.
we should still be able to slide the housing over the next wires, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll have one red, one black. Okay. So the black is on the female side. Alright. So we need a female black wire. Let's see, how long should we make this?
Let's make it like that.
Alright. There's black. Now we need corresponding red. Alright. Strip these with a 10 gauge. Where's black? Alright. What did I say? Black female? Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, black female. Okay, so we only do one connector to each of these. Alright, that's all we need for that one. So this slips on like so. And we gotta get a male banana plug to help install that.
Female. Did you connect the wrong one?
But that's okay because we can just use that for the other side.
Wait, no. You need to click it on this one.
Hmm?
I would just cut it off and re-solder it because you don't want to, because it's going to be confusing if.
No,
this
no,
one's
I mean
the
we can
positive
just
one.
clamp this on the bus bar. Because I was just gonna have the
Oh, okay.
exposed wire lead, but I mean if
Okay,
banana plug
got
is there, that should be fine, right?
Yeah. What's the advantage of the solid wire?
That's what was available at Fry's Electronics before I started ordering more stuff like online instead. But it's more sturdier, but it's not necessarily something we need right now. So I think it's better to have the non-solid wire. Alright, here's that wire. Damn it.
What? Soon. Like 30, 40 minutes. Okay. Bye.
Oh wait. Fuck, I got this thing off.
Just oh yeah.
Yeah, this one. Where are those?
How long is it gonna take to hook that motor up?
Unknown.
Alright, we might have to.
Yeah, we might have to. That side's in.
That's your guy right there.
Yeah, the male one. Okay. more solder. Oh my god. Just give it more time to cool and expand.
What if you like also did this on the top? Oh yeah, this tip sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Seems like it's- Need a female connector?
Yeah. Thanks.
Alright, let's just test the voltage and
Yeah, alright. Alright. Like one of those gloves. Okay, so I feel like we should clear this up a little.
wait, you don't have to hook it up, do you? Just test the voltage.
Oh, you mean, okay,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Because we don't have the, like, we have to hook up all this shit to the breadboard, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna see if, like, I was just gonna test these two terminals, but I can just test them. That's a good idea. Okay, so finally got our connector to hook up our battery in series. Looks a little bit like this. So help me out here, Aaron. Just make sure I have the right connections here. So positive goes in to this connector, and that positive is going to go through the short wire to the negative on this wire. Okay, I gotta be careful of my exposed leads here. Oh wait. Yeah, that's fine. Now the positive flows from through the short wire to the negative of the black wire, and so then the positive of this wire is going to hook up to the positive of this wire, the long one. So I believe we should be good. Yep. Alright, no sparks so far.
It's good.
Okay.
Watch out, don't let those.
Yeah, so can you, so it should be 30 volts. Okay, we got a 200 volt setting. $30.4.
Sweet. We're good.
Alright,
Alright. Oh shit. Want me to unplug it?
sure.
Alright. And I think we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get the motor running, but
Yeah.
as always
Streaming
things take
through
a little longer than
4 hours.
we originally think it does.
Yeah. But we will get it, like, first thing we're gonna do next time is get it
Yeah, like it's
running.
literally all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, so. Alright, well, thanks guys for sticking around. I will record the donors on a list and make sure they get on the video. But until then, see you next time.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys.
Peace out.